What's going on, everyone? Ricky here for GSM Arena. I've had a chance to check out LG's new flagship phone. It's got a larger display, 5G support, updated camera hardware, and the phone itself debuts LG's new design language. The dual screen accessory also sees a few minor updates. Let's check out the LG V60 5G. LG is back with a new phone, but it's not quite the G9 that many were expecting. Instead, the company is announcing the latest successor to the V series. This is the LG V60 5G, and it brings a new design identity. It's definitely not what we've seen from LG in the past couple of years. The V60 has an attractive new look, and although these changes are subtle, it really gives LG's design language some new character. The first thing is the frame, which is no longer glossy. The V60 brings back the chamfered edge trend we used to see in phones a few years back, and the frame features an anodized finish. There's a bold 3D glass effect on the rear panel. LG took a risk with this design choice, and I think it really paid off because the phone looks very stunning. The cameras are no longer flush with the rear glass. LG went with a slightly raised camera module and then used the same metal from the frame to make it pop against the back glass. Of course, LG believes that there is still a market for the 3.5mm headphone jack on a high-end phone, so the quad DAC is still around and so is the headphone jack. LG went with a large display here this year with a 6.8-inch OLED screen and Full HD Plus resolution. Meanwhile, the U-shaped notch at the top houses a 10-megapixel selfie camera with an f1.9 aperture. Like it or not, smartphones are getting bigger and bigger every year, and LG is following this demand. Its customers, particularly those in Asian markets, prefer bigger displays because they primarily watch a lot of content on their phones, and for many of them, their smartphone is the only computer they own. Just like the V50 and the G8X that I have here, the V60 continues LG's vision for productivity with a dual screen accessory like the G8X. The updates to the hardware include a brighter external display, a new textured grip on the back, and a deeper magnetic charging port. The accessory essentially adds a second display to run separate apps on each screen, or you can use wide mode to combine both displays into a single larger view. Gamers can also take advantage of LG's virtual gamepad, whose controls are fully customizable. Speaking of games, the V60 runs the latest Snapdragon 865 chipset paired with Qualcomm's X55 5G modem. LG is putting 8GB of RAM onto this phone, which for a flagship is just enough. The dual screen no longer has its own battery like the V50s did. Instead, the dual screen accessory is powered through the USB-C port. To make sure the dual screen experience lasts, LG includes a hefty 5000 mAh battery. LG intends to bundle the dual screen accessory with the V60 so that anyone can take advantage of the two displays. Now let's get to the camera. LG has actually eliminated the third camera and instead went with a dual setup plus a 3D sensor. The main camera has a 64-megapixel main sensor with f1.8 aperture, which outputs to 16-megapixel photos thanks to pixel binning. Next to that is a 13-megapixel ultra-wide camera with f1.9 aperture. There's no longer a telephoto camera, but LG claims the 64-megapixel camera can capture images at 2x zoom without losing details. The new high-resolution camera should also give us improved night view in conjunction with optical image stabilization. The TOF camera enables a new 3D portrait feature and improves the blurring effect of portrait photos. The 3D portrait that you see here was shot with non-final software, so we'll expect those bugs to be fixed for our full review. The new high-resolution camera lets you record up to 8K res videos with 10-bit color. There's also a new voice bokeh mode, which uses the phone's 4 microphones to focus in on human voices. Although it hasn't finalized pricing at the time of this video, LG will price the V60 below the $999 entry-level price of the Galaxy S20, while still offering 5G connectivity. LG doesn't seem to be concerned with the spec race at all. It would rather build a high-end smartphone that meets everyone's needs without adding excess RAM or high refresh rate displays that would then pass the cost onto the customer. The V60 has a lot going for it. I do like that new design and I can't wait to play with those new camera features, but will this be enough to compete with the other big guys? We'll find out when we conduct our full review of the V60. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Ricky, and I'll see you guys next time.